Hi, I'm Dave D with XP Team USA. We head out to central Iowa, where team members Len Quillen and R.C. Dunn are standing by. Through much research, they have uncovered the lost coal mining town of Enterprise. Guys?
There's a land that is fairer than day, and by faith we can see the fall, for the Father waits over the way to prepare us a dwelling.
These faces represent the struggle for the American dream at the turn of the last century. They endured 12 weeks on the Atlantic with their families and all their possessions for a chance to better their lives. Arrival on our eastern shores only guaranteed one thing for these families: adversity. With the clothes on their backs and little money in their pockets, it would take an additional 3 months for their journey to end here, the bustling coal town of Enterprise, Iowa, 1903. Close to a century has passed since that thriving coal town simply disappeared and was transformed back into fertile farmland to feed the world. If it wasn't for a chance encounter with a lovely farmer's widow approaching 90 years old, we may never have discovered Enterprise. Sitting on her front porch that summer afternoon, we were certain she didn't remember our names, but she vividly described this coal town Enterprise that was one of the rowdiest places she remembers as a little girl. With nothing but a name, Lynn set out on what would become a 2-year journey of discovery for us. With our XP Deus metal detectors, we have erased 100 years of lost time. We are bringing Enterprise back to life. Once again, strolling down Flannery Avenue, exploring the homes of close to 3,000 immigrants, and finding the artifacts they left behind.
Hey, good morning, group. Lynn here, XP Team USA. I'm in the field. I just got an 85. Just rolled this over, and it looks like maybe some type of medallion or something. It looks like it's got, I don't know what it is. TAA? No, I don't think so. There's some more writing on the back. So I don't know, some type of tag maybe?
We brought in State of Iowa curator Leo Landis to help us understand Enterprise.
There are mines in the 1860s and the 1870s, but it's in the 1880s where, with railroads coming in and heating stoves, those are the two main uses of Iowa coal, and it's often local where coal mining really takes off. Coal mining was a way to work your way up the economic ladder in the United States, and especially in Iowa. So if you were a miner coming to Monroe County or Marion County in the 1890s, you hoped you were going to better your life. That was your entry level into American society. You were often an immigrant, African Americans coming up from the South who wanted to live in a more equal society. So those were the people who were coming up to the coal mines and hoping to better their lives in Iowa.
Hey group, Lynn back again. I am finding relic. Just about back to the end of my row here. Look at this. Hit like a 91. I'm still in 13 kilohertz. I think that is a clock. Maybe not. I thought it might have been a clock winder. Maybe it's not. I don't know for sure, but it sure is nice looking, whatever it is.
One important way the mining families were able to better their lives was by sending their children to school.
Enterprise had a school. Photographs that are in the State Historical Society's collection show a very diverse group of children attending that school. The schools then represent the population of Enterprise, so it's likely most children went to school rather than doing any work in Enterprise.
When not in school, one thing's for certain: the children loved playing with marbles. The farm field where Enterprise once stood is littered with ceramic, handmade Bennington marbles.
What's up, everybody, here at Enterprise. Got Lynn to grab the camera. Check out this surface find. Old Bennington marble. You can see where the posts went through it when they put it on the lathe to get the roundness before they would put it in the kiln. This is how marbles were made before glass. This is like pottery ceramic. So pretty cool, just sitting right here along the corn stalks.
The children may spend their days above ground, but in Enterprise, the men worked long hours deep below the earth. We have found countless horse and mule tack, hammerheads, and pneumatic picks. One unique find was an axe head designed to harvest blocks of ice in the winter.
All right, group. Boy, it's been about 300 yards since I've even had a good signal. This one came in really strong at 88. It looks like definitely looks copper. I can't tell what that is. Oh, I think I see it. Army. I bet you this is a horse rosette. Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say. We'll clean it up when we get home, but pretty big. It's about the size of a silver dollar, so I'm thinking it might have been on a horse. I'm pretty sure. But anyway, we'll catch you later.
The types of mines that we had in Iowa were typically deep mines. The shafts ran several hundred feet deep. The style of mine was largely called a room and pillar mine, and a room would be a section where you were actually operating and mining the material, mining the coal, and a room was about 30 feet wide, so that was the room, and the pillars were what supported the mine from caving in. The men would take an elevator down, mules are used to haul the coal, and then probably a steam locomotive perhaps. I think there was a small steam locomotive from what the records indicate that would also help move the coal on the property.
Lynn here out the cornfield again. I'm a little nuts, mid-30s. Frost in the ground some spots, but this is what it looks like when you turn over frost. It's just big chunks of stuff. But then over here on the raised part by the stocks, it's like sawdust, so it's really easy to get into some targets that way. But I just hit one of my better targets here, 85, and I had to break that up. I could have damaged this very easily with my hand digger. I was trying to break that frost piece apart, but it definitely looks like something that went on a necklace or maybe a bracelet, like a key charm. I can't tell what that is. I don't know if that's a dog or what, but definitely brass, I think, or old. Maybe it's just copper or something. Maybe it was plated, but nice little piece.
It goes without saying that mine safety in 1903 doesn't meet the minimum standards of mining today. Newspaper articles do list fatalities at Enterprise. However, the Miners Union had a strong presence there.
Miners across the state of Iowa were represented by the United Mine Workers, the National Mine Union. Beginning in 1898, that was when the United Mine Workers would negotiate with the Iowa Coal Operators Association. That was the business side of it, the owners. And so there'd either be an annual contract setting what rental rates might be. There might be other criteria on, how payment might be handled at the company store.
All right, so got an 82 right here. We've been pulling a lot of Indian head pennies. Good repeatable tone right at 80, 81. So let's see what we got. Ground is hard. All right, so it's in the plug here. Ah, cool. Old key. Oh, and it still bends. Look at that. Real tiny skeleton key. Rang up 8081 on our sifter program. This is the kind of relics we're finding. I mean, we're finding silver, we're finding all kinds of stuff, but you know, this was a town of 700, so you know, you're gonna find relics like this out here. Pretty neat.
On our next episode, we'll follow the home life of one Italian family at Enterprise. We'll dive deep into some of our unusual finds that provide us with a glimpse of what life was like in Iowa at the turn of the last century.
Hey everyone, XP Sonia here, and you know what that means. It's time for our Day of Standees. We'll just get right to it. This month's winners, John TETREAULT's 1785 Nova Constellatio. Congratulations, John. Send me a PM with your address and we'll get those prizes out to you ASAP.
What do you say we head over to the UK, where Gary Blackwell is standing by for another XP Skill School?
Hi Dave, thanks very much. Welcome to a very windy day in the UK. There's lots of relic hunters all over the world, and they're not necessarily interested in single coins. They just want big targets and deep. They don't care whether it's ferrous or non-ferrous. I'm sure there's lots of guys out there watching who are thinking, yeah, we search Civil War sites. What's the settings, Gary? What settings am I using with the ORX to complement this X35 coil on lower frequencies? Well, it's program number 1. It's the gold mode. But I'm making just 1 or 2 slight adjustments to it. First of all, I'm going to go into the menu, sensitivity 95, I'm going to leave that exactly as it is. Drop down, now it defaults at 17.2 kilohertz, if you've got the X35 coil on, that is. I'm going to lower the frequency down to 4 kilohertz. Drop it down 1 more, reactivity 2, probably going to leave that for a bit. Let's drop it down 1 more. Disc IAR, I'm going to turn that right up to 5. Now disc IAR will eliminate some surface iron, but deep iron, it's still going to give you a good signal on. Iron volume on. Once more, threshold. Now this is one of my favourites. Threshold gives a background carrier in the headphones, so it's kind of gives you a baseline. So let's turn it up and you'll hear it coming in. That's all there is to it. That's my settings for deep relics using an X35 coil. All I need to do now is ground balance. So first of all, we find a clean piece of soil, pump the coil a few times, and you can hear the ground balance is wrong here. Press the pinpoint button once. Now it's ground balanced, and the 2 numbers on your screen should correspond. Now the secret to using this mode is listening out for the right type of signal. There's going to be loads of signals out there, but we just need one specific signal. It's going to be faint, it's going to be very soft, but it's going to be wide. Lots and lots of signals out there, they're going to be short and choppy, we're going to ignore them. We just want this one particular textbook signal. It really is a game of patience. 1 shot, 1 kill. You can hear the thresholds in the background there just bubbling away. Low tone, that's iron. But don't forget, our deep target, even if it's iron, will give us a positive signal. Not what we're after, too short. You can use this method even if there's a lot of surface nails about. A top tip is keep your coil about 8-9 inches above the ground. And now you're going to be eliminating the small nails. And believe it or not, the detector will actually go deeper on bigger targets if you take the small surface nails out of the range. There's another big target, purely ferrous, not what I want. These are all little irony signals. Just to give you an idea of what sort of signal I'm looking for, let me put my spade on the ground. Can you see what I'm saying now? Although the spade is ferrous, it still gives the non-ferrous sound at depth because it's a big target and the IAR will not reject this type of target. Here we go. It's quiet. It's wide. There's no meter reading, which is always a good sign. Now that's the sort of target that gets me excited. It could be ferrous, could be non-ferrous, I really don't know. So the signal starts here, and it starts coming in here. It's interesting to see that this target is quite big this way, but very narrow that way. I love using this search method. Alright, you need nerves of steel and you need to adapt a lot of patience. You're actually using this machine as a tool, and that's the great thing about it. It can be adapted for different search scenarios. One minute you could be searching for coins, gold nuggets, or in this case we're trying to train ourselves to listen for a specific target while ignoring everything else. It really is a game of patience, and do you know what, there might only be one big deep target in this whole field. So you know, don't go out there using this method expecting to find lots and lots of targets. Besides that, deep targets are a nightmare to dig. You really want to go hunting with a buddy if you're using this type of search methods. I'm interested to see what this target turns out to be, and you guys are going to have to tune in to the next show to see me dig it live. So it's back to you, Dave.
Wow, now that's a target. I just might come over to the UK and help you dig that one up. Thanks for joining us, everyone. I'm Dave D with XP Team USA. We'll see you next time.